Your last confession took me by surprise. Mr. Gopherwood. No. The final divine law. I suspect there was never any chrysalis of extinction from the swarm disaster to begin with, was there? What exists in Oak Manor is nothing but a disguise. The only thing hidden within is a Stellaron.
True. I never unraveled the secrets of the propagation. Now, split into 4 parts. A single strike of mine cannot harm that hunter.
But if a Pathstrider of the same origin as the Swarm were to be deceived by tuning, mistaking what lies before them as certain death, if they were to make a wish to live before the Stellaron, the outcome would twist into a catastrophe that brings death. The Swarm disaster. Her life shall beget death, and that death shall beget life unto this world. But why are you so certain that nothing will go wrong?
I've already glimpsed the secrets of the Stellaron, and I have no need for certainty here. Even if she never entered the game, that strike would still fall at the appointed time, causing the Stellaron to shatter. The Dreamers will learn that the power to destroy their own lives comes from the harmony, but that it is ultimately the worst option.
You should know that I won't agree with this.
Too late, child. The hands of time have struck midnight. Look up at the stars. Do you know why they are so cruel? That reason shall be the final divine law. And with this, we entrust everything into your hands. Because the stars belong to everyone, they have never belonged to anyone. If you love everyone, then you love no one. Well, that's where our conversation ends. Go ahead. The 107,336 souls of the Oak family have dreamed of this moment too many times. The opening is near. Go, my child. Seize the power of the harmony and reveal your karma.
I shall walk the path of the Order to its end, as you wish. But I can no longer accept your divine laws. If I become the only star in the sky, even if I belong to no one, there would still be no cruelty. The stars are cruel, only because they have never shared their heat with the masses, burning fiercely only for themselves. Well, there can't be 2 suns in the sky. I'll step up and take down the other sun if necessary. Moreover, how could I allow other stars to shine during the day? Paradise shall soon be created, not at midnight, but at noon. I shall initiate the first and only divine law of the great Septimus. I shall ascend to the heavens, becoming the scorching sun. Bathed in my light, my people shall flourish, while all evil shall be eradicated.
Very well, child. Do what you must. Perhaps I was never without choice, merely too entangled with the fear of losing, never knowing what was possible if I chose to act. I should become a watchmaker too. The harmony I seek has but one note, repeating endlessly, never falling out of tune. Life, too, has its time.
We did it. He faded first, causing their power to lose control. Is that... How... did you...
Death comes for us all, eventually.
I'm starting to hate how powerless I am. How I wish that I had some way to comfort you right at this moment. Oh, don't worry. That was all in the past. She had almost reached her demise, yet she survived. Her second death hadn't come yet. It would be upon her soon. He lured a Glamoth Iron Cavalry to face a Stellaron after years of plotting. Though everything Firefly had learned since entering the dream was true, they were only truths that the Dream Master wanted her to see. And that is often regarded as the highest form of deception. The Stellaron answered Firefly's desire to keep living. In response, it recreated within the sweet dream the Swarm disaster and the Eon Enna. It was confined within the dream. Even a Stellaron could not truly revive the Swarm disaster. The Dream Master's actions could only evoke fear in those already dreaming. Yet this swarm was frighteningly real when you consider the next steps of his plan. Enna's dream had enveloped the entire star system, which meant the swarm disaster would gradually become indistinguishable from reality. The propagation would awaken the most primal fears in all dreamers. Through their cries, the path of order would be sustained, until the entire cosmos drowned in a singular dream. You engaged in a decisive battle with Sunday at the Penacony Grand Theater afterward. He had, without question, become an emanator at that time after usurping the harmonious choir. But you showed no fear, and gave it your all in your fight against him. And you emerged victorious with the help of your allies. Yet that battle, the setbacks, the victory, was just an illusion woven by Sunday. Enna's dream had already enveloped the entire Asdana system. It was impossible for you to beat Sunday at that time. Enna's dream was so terrifying that even memo keepers could not act freely in it. Fortunately, we sought out Acheron first, and she lent us a helping hand. That allowed us to take action and try waking people one by one. Indeed, don't forget that, even within the sweet dream, there were still many people yearning, striving, and pushing forward with all their might. At that moment, you too would face a similar deathmatch. Being woken up by Black Swan was a watershed moment, Due to the existence of Enna's dream, your memories from that point onward can no longer be viewed from the same perspective as before. It's not that they're not real enough. Things always look different when viewed from different angles. Ever thought about whether we've truly seen our authentic selves in a mirror? And from that moment forth, I would also no longer be able to help you. Your memories belong to you alone at the end of the day. Destiny only allows me to intervene this far. However, you must remember this. How your memories manifest is ultimately up to you. People can't dream of things they've never seen before. They're afraid to wake up because the sweet dream is woven from their own past. A past they still can't let go of. It's just like your actions at this very moment. Only by embracing the past can you find the strength to walk towards the future. Firefly, me, the Stellaron Hunters, this entire world, we're all waiting for you to reach that moment. I can hardly tell if this is nervousness or excitement. You are different, unique, and worth waiting for. Go and write a prelude to memories once more. From within the ashes of time, you must reignite destiny.
This way, darling.
Not another one. Thank you so much, Black Swan.
Finally, I can breathe a sigh of relief.
I understand you must be confused, and we'll do our best to shed light on the situation. However, before that, it's essential to know that this place is the rift between dream and reality. A place reserved only for those who have awakened from Enna's dream.
Do you remember Sunday's ambitious plan? He intended to harness the power of the Stellaron, the collective will of over 100,000 Oak family members, and the desires of everyone in Penacony to usurp the harmony and restore the order.
Unfortunately, it didn't stop there. From the early days of our journey into Asdana, we were already affected by the Stellaron. That strange dreamscape where we met. Maybe it was a sign that your thoughts were beginning to drift away. I don't think the goal of the Order was to put everyone into a deep sleep. Quite the contrary. They used the Stellaron to catalyze the leakage of Asdana's Memoria into the material world, allowing the dreamscape to blend with reality. People think they are awake, but their spirits have long since stepped into the Temple of Order.
This is what makes Enna's dream so powerful. In this paradise governed by the Order, everyone indulges in their delightful dreams and lives happily ever after. I believe what you experienced in the sweet dream, except for that flaw, was real. Only in this way could you reach the destination, lifting the crisis in Penacony and embarking on your next trailblazing expedition. If it wasn't for Acheron's plan, we might have been trapped in this dream forever. Well, I'm not as fortunate as she is. Even if I'm a memo keeper, I was still influenced by the power of the Order and fell into hallucinations. However, thanks to your memories, now we still have a chance to turn the tide.
We still have a chance, though. To make it happen. Please, Black Swan. Guide us to those with a strong will. The truth of the dreamscape runs deeper. We must notify anyone willing to wake up, so we can end the long night together.
All right, please come with me.
Stay calm. I bet that even if I don't resist, you'd still... Time to get down to business, cowboy.
Huh. You okay? A memo keeper is looking for them. We must do everything we can as well.
Quite the fateful encounter we have here, friend. Seems you're also a light sleeper. I'll send you some of the IPC's sleep aids one of these days.
Unfortunately, we need to stay awake right now rather than sleep. We're still nowhere near capable of breaking free from Enna's dream. Let me break the bad news first. The enemy we're up against isn't just Sunday anymore, nor is it the harmonious choir that he's usurped. The Dream Master has awakened the swarm disaster within the sweet dream, and cast shadows into the hearts of all dreamers through Enna's dream. The primal fear taking root in people's hearts had led them to call out to the Order for protection. The path of order is gradually being restored, and this has transformed Sunday into Enna.
Specifically, he's just one step away from becoming an Eon. The IPC starships converged here at an opportune moment, and the power of the preservation seeped into the sweet dream to prevent him from completely ascending. However, that is only temporary.
With the IPC around, the cosmos doesn't need a second order.
But it doesn't make much of a difference for us. Sunday's true form has broken free from the dreamscape, becoming as vast as an eon. The Asdana system is no more than a plaything in the palm of his hand.
Indeed. Forget about stopping him. We can't even manage to face him again.
The key still lies in Anna's dream. Fear and sweet dreams. He relies on these two lies to gather the dreamers' shared wishes. He's still just a false god who barely managed to ascend. If we can wake people up and break Anna's dream, Sunday's divinity will fall with it. But the current sweet dream is extremely complex. Miss Black Swan, could you please explain the rest of it? My memory isn't the best, after all.
Time is of the essence, so I'll cut to the chase. There are 3 layers to the dreamscape trapping us. First, there's Anna's dream controlled by Sunday. It wove a beautiful illusion for every dreamer, making them flounder in it. Second, there's the primordial dreamscape, which includes Dreamflux Reef. The swarm disaster is manifesting again in the Oak Dream within this layer, and is continuously empowering the Order through an endless stream of fear. Third, there's the 12 hours established by the family. This layer was the first to merge with reality and is itself an enormous trap. Forget about winning. We need to cross all 3 layers of the dreamscape before we can even face Sunday again. Unfortunately, we're still in the first layer, which is Enna's dream. Although we've regained our sense of self, we're still dreaming. We've only managed to connect our individual dreamscapes, but have not escaped. To destroy it, we must make everyone in Penacony want to wake up from their dreams. Humans yearning for sweet illusions borders on obsession, leading them to subconsciously resist the harsh reality. Therefore, I carefully selected a moment where she was completely unguarded, guiding her to uncover the truth herself to make her regain her consciousness. However, to wake up everyone in Penacony and get them to share the same determination, that would be nearly impossible.
But we can't just stay here and do nothing.
This is the first step of our plan. With the assistance from the Garden of Recollection, those who possess a strong will, like you, will gradually awaken from the dream. These free wills are the discord that will sway Anna's dream.
However, awakening a mere handful of individuals is insignificant compared to the vast number of people immersed in the dream. We must find other ways to awaken the free will of millions of people within a short period of time. Looks like the Jade Kiss of Allying Oath will be the only solution.
No. No need for that. Keep your once-in-a-lifetime treasure. We don't need to bother the Cienjo Alliance for such a tiny request. You want thousands of people with unwavering free will? That's easy. Just leave it to us Galaxy Rangers. Do you know what it is, Acheron?
It's the relic I returned to you.
Exactly. Its owner must have told you that it's meaningless to anyone other than a Galaxy Ranger.
and that it can only fulfill its purpose when returned to its rightful owner. Because it's a burial artifact, worthy only of a hero who has served the Galaxy Rangers with honor. When its light illuminates the universe, it means the fall of a hero. And in the direction it falls, countless meteors will streak across the sky. Those meteors are Galaxy Rangers, coming from all corners of the cosmos, driven by a shared purpose, without questioning the cause or counting the cost. Because we abide by a bottom line. The shooting stars of the hunt only descend on the longest night, and with them comes the dawn. We've stayed silent for far too long. Now, it's time to remind all the cowards, oppressors, and villains of the universe of our presence. I'll be the one to ignite the first spark.
This should be enough to delay his ascension to godhood. As for the foundation of Enna's dream, it would take an immense power to shake it in an instant.
I think that shouldn't be too hard.
So, you're the key in the end, I assume? Even if it is just a counterfeit god, we'll need an emanator to step in.
Perhaps it's not about being an emanator. This is a different collective wish. I will do everything in my power to strike down that evil god for you all.
What about the other two dreamscape layers?
There's nothing we can do about them. They're even more dangerous. Unlike our current gathering, the dissipation of Enna's dream will take time, which will draw Sunday's attention.
Exactly. Once we enter the next layer of the dreamscape, we'll be facing an eon's strength head on. But by then, we'll have played all our cards. It's too late. Unless another eon intervenes, but that would be tantamount to igniting a cosmic war among gods. The Order is one of Shipei's aspects, yet the Harmony stands idle at this moment as Enna is being reborn, without any further intervention. There must be some deeper reason behind this. Enna's dream is no ordinary matter. Even with Constance and me giving it our all, we could only reach the few of you here. It's impossible to find more help.
But time is of the essence. We must take our fate into our own hands.
In other words, those who only want to survive by playing it safe will die. All those who dare to face death head on will live. I like that.
Just these few people? Oh well, that'll do. It's not just Penacony. The entire Asdana system is done for.
A Stellaron hunter?
She was at the edge of the Asdana system, but she still got dragged into this mess. Just finding her nearly wiped me out.
Quite a bold investment strategy. Tell me, with such a huge risk, what kind of payoff are we talking about?
The other two layers of the dreamscape will be handled by the Stellaron hunters. One of our associates is searching in the 12 hours for the other person chosen by the Harmony.
Oh? Miss Robin?
She broke free from Enna's dream through her own strength, and left behind a song for those in slumber.
It's true that some people are born strong, and others are born weak. If the Trailblaze is the target of heroes, then the Harmony will guarantee that the strong help the weak. Only the people of Penacony themselves can be the saviors of their homeland. Their path of happiness should be forged by themselves. While I may not be a nameless, I'm willing to instill courage in all those who need it. This includes my brother as well. Anna's dream is too cruel for him and everyone else.
I see. So, we were able to wake up thanks to Miss Robin's help. But the flaws rooted in human nature can't be eradicated overnight. Do you believe that these efforts alone are enough to convince everyone to choose the right path?
I agree with you, Black Swan. That's why the most critical aspect of this plan is not to convince everyone to choose the right path, but to inspire them to save themselves.
They'll stir up something big to help break you free from the 12 hours. As for the primordial dreamscape, Sam is standing by, just waiting for you to break free from Enna's dream. Now, I'll tell you, but don't panic. She will die. She will die a second time, facing everything she wants to run away from. But her fate will be determined by you. She will help you break through the second layer of the dreamscape. Then, she'll fall into Enna's dream, which hasn't fully dissipated yet. If you defeat Sunday and wake her from that dream, then her second death, too, will become nothing but an illusion. But if you fail, the dreamscape will ultimately merge completely with reality, and her death will become a fact.
But that still doesn't solve the fundamental problem. What about Sunday? He could wipe out all our efforts with no more than a glance the moment we cross the 3 dreamscape layers.
Oh, Miss Memo Keeper. It's time for a game of recall. I once said something to you lot back in the Oak Dream. So long as my trump card remains unplayed, none will dare see the hand through to the end. And now, it's time to reveal that ace. Let me point out 2 mistakes. One of them is yours. Having personally been to the heartland of the Dream Master's plans, wouldn't I have already found a way to inform the IPC? The fleet's deployment was never meant for a direct confrontation. It was to seed the Preservation's heart into the dream. The other mistake was Sunday's, and it was a fatal one. He should never have confiscated my cornerstone. He should have kicked me out right from the start. That's how every gamble with me goes. The moment you sat down at my table, you've already lost. A jade-colored light still sleeps deep within the dreamscape, and it does not require the presence of its owner to unleash its powers.
So what? Even the power of the 10 stone hearts can't rattle an existence already approaching eonhood.
That's why I said the cosmos no longer needs a second order. The Dream Master's plan is indeed flawless. However, when faced with the terror of the swarm disaster, how is calling for the preservation any different from calling for the order? The release of the Cornerstone's powers will absorb the Dreamer's desires and offer them the preservation's promise instead, guiding them to cry out these words: all for the Amber Lord.
Is
this the IPC's real goal? To completely take back Penacony on a conceptual path level?
What, you think I'm also trampling over others' beliefs? Sorry, but that's exactly what the IPC believes in. Don't question your own ruthlessness. All that matters is profit. The new swarm disaster will end the same way as it ended before. The hammer strike will echo throughout Asdana, seizing the Order's powers on the level of paths to launch our counterattack, leaving Sunday powerless to interfere with your actions. But a new Amber Era will not arrive because of that. Today's hammer strike is not the wrath of an eon, but humanity's battle cry of defiance.
I'll hold my breath and listen for that moment.
Once our plan succeeds, we can strip Sunday of his godhood, but we'll be too drained to join the battle afterward. So...
take your time to prepare. Before you head out, may I have a moment alone with you? There's one more thing I need to explain to you.
It's you. I've been wanting to meet you. I'm curious, why does she value your existence so much?
Not now. This is not the time. I used to wonder about Destiny, about where it's heading. But you can decide its destination, at least for today. The bigger the stage, the more you need to be composed when stepping onto it.
Now that our roles are assigned, let's get to our battlefield and pose a grand finale.
Go. You already know what I want to say.
We've always been interested in the Stellaron Hunters. How about we have a chat after all this is over?
A chat? You're just after my bounty, aren't you? Stay in your lane.
No way, I'm just after that. If you're worried about the bounty, how about I add another billion to that number?
This grand festival is drawing to its close. This is the starting point for the ultimate stage of our journey. Just as it marked the beginning of all the stories in Penacony. Are you ready?